So like you were saying.
Yeah. Opportunity in the market right now, definitely townhouses. We were talking about, we're getting a lot of couples who are living at home after their wedding.
Yeah.
And for some of those people, things are good. And some people, they need their own space.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents are willing to help and give the down payment so everyone gets their space.
For sure. And even for the ones that are living at home and things are good, eventually, most people do have plans to move out.
Absolutely.
It makes way more sense to buy today than wait 2 to 3 years till you decide.
Yeah.
You don't know what your equity situation is going to be. You don't know, where the money's coming from. What if the other sibling takes it? You have no idea.
Yeah. Get to it first.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of those people come through, and we'll be doing our event on the 14th of June.
Your office?
My office.
Tuesday?
Yeah, 15955 Fraser Highway.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wine and cheese. We're going to teach people how to buy a home, what to do.
And why to take advantage
of the opportunity
and how to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the prices are good right now.
Yeah. Especially you're saying from the condo to townhouse?
Yeah, like
that's
jump is crazy.
That's a good jump, right?
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of people are selling their condo at a peak right now, and they're transitioning into a townhouse, which used to be almost a $250,000 to $300,000 variance.
Yeah.
In some cases, $150,000.
Wow.
So that's it, and you're in a townhouse, and now you have 2 floors of living space.
Yeah.
You have a degree of separation. You have a garage. You don't have to park underground, and there's all sorts of benefits. And we're seeing a lot of people who sold their townhouses are able to get into a home, and they have some options, because we were kind of in this place in the market where there was only homes for 1.7 million at one point. Now we're starting to see stuff all the way from the 1.3 range up to the $1.7 million range, anywhere from North Delta to Langley. And if you go even further east, like Abbotsford or Chilliwack or Hope, those prices get even sharper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. The good thing is, like, sometimes people don't realize with the rates going up, they think you're locking it in for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's a 2-3 year higher paying rate.
Yep.
Your property that you're now buying is potentially a few $100,000 less, depending on where you're buying. And, it makes total sense.
So tell me this. I have a question for you, and this is the question that I think we're going to probably answer at our event.
Yeah.
Give me the no BS 5% down, you can purchase a home spiel. Tell me about this, because we got mortgage brokers everywhere going, you can 5% down, you can buy a house. Can you buy a house with 5% down?
You can if your house is 500 grand or less.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So in the Lower Mainland, that really is just an older 1-bedroom condo, for the most part, for most areas.
Yeah.
And that makes things incredibly difficult. Now, why are mortgage brokers always talking in fives? Why is it always 5%, 10%, 15%, or 20%? Why can't it be 7.35%?
It can. It definitely can. And usually it works out to be something like that. It's just easier, I guess, it's just easier to break things down. But the portion above 500 grand up to right under $1 million is 10%. Okay. So your 5% of the first 500 plus the 10% of the portion above.
Got you.
Add those up based on your purchase price. That's the minimum you need.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's not just the minimum. You have to qualify for the mortgage.
Yes.
Whatever the remaining amount is, which is the mortgage.
And that's when the stress test comes in.
Yeah. Stress test is everywhere now. Less than 20%, more than 20%. Any house over $1 million, any property over $1 million is mandatory that you put at least 20% down, depending on the price, depending on the lender.
Yeah.
But at least 20%.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And what questions, when someone comes to you for a pre-approval, do they ask about on the real estate side?
On the real estate side, the thing with a lot of times, unfortunately, people come and they have something in mind already. They've already, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's social media. They're already seen your videos showing your listings. They're excited. And, they want to move into a nice, relatively new place for the most part. But sometimes it sucks when they're in a position where they can't qualify, right? You're qualifying almost 2% higher than what you're paying.
Okay.
That's the stress test. It is life, but there's ways around it in the sense of, not all lenders have the stress test, believe it or not. And, a lot of people currently in today's market are just adding co-applicants onto their mortgage application in order to qualify.
Mom,
dad, sibling, partner. I got clients who are, professionals, young professionals, and the parents are essentially gifting them a property.
Okay.
And everyone's on title because they know the property that they wanted to buy for 1.3 a few years ago is now 1.6.5, and now they're trying to capture it under $2 million. Before they're actually ready to purchase, when it'll be north of $2 million.
So then, what about for the person that doesn't have that that help or that blessing
Yeah.
of having a parent or a grandparent or a uncle or aunt. What opportunities are we seeing in the market for those people?
It's so depending on everyone's situation, everyone's situation is unique.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of applicants now. People are buying homes with friends.
Okay.
The only thing is you got to make sure that you
trust them.
You could trust them. You have your worst case scenario figured out.
Yeah.
If it's just the friends, are there like, is your partner involved? What's your outlook with your partner? It's just questions at the end of the day. Same goes for weddings.
Okay.
There's so much planning, especially in like Punjabi weddings. There's so much planning involved in the wedding that, fuck man, they spend way more time planning their wedding than they do their life.
Yeah, especially in the South Asian community, we're starting to see like, and I mean nothing against weddings. I mean, you guys, me, I was in the wedding scene.
Yeah.
From a music standpoint, prior to real estate. You've got friends who are DJs and photographers and videographers. So not knocking anyone's hustle. I think a good wedding is definitely something to have, and you deserve it. But in this world, it's just isn't economically feasible anymore. And like, you want to put the wedding in front of your future goals, because the truth is, after your 1 week event, you need a lifetime of a place to live.
For sure.
And if you've spent $100,000 or 150 grand, like South Asian weddings can cost 150 G's, no problem.
Each side.
Surrey's wild. I'm from Victoria, so
Yeah.
it was not 150 G's.
No,
each side there.
long enough. You've been here long enough to say you're from Surrey. Yeah.
But no, I think like it's pretty wild to spend $150,000 or $300,000 parents' money and equity to throw a 1 week party where you could be buying that into a home that's going to grow 9%. But again, it's a toss, right?
It's a case by case. There are so many people that are able to do both.
Oh yeah,
and some.
Yeah.
So to each their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for some people, they might not want to move out because they've had these discussions with their parents.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Usually, it's one of the sons that stays home, but they reno their home or they built it the way that works with all parties being happy.
Yeah.
Every lady gets their own kitchen type of thing.
Yeah.
But not everyone's in that space, right?
Yeah.
So it sucks when we have clients that come to us. They're like, "Hey, I need to pull up money for the wedding," which is fine. The worst ones are the ones that hurt, or they're looking to tap into the equity by any means necessary, meaning private mortgages.
Oh no!
Just to get one of the kids married.
Yeah,
and
because private mortgages aren't bad if the interest has an opportunity cost on the other side. We see a lot of like wealthy developers. They take private loans and give private loans. Yeah. Very often, but they've got huge upturns. Whereas, like, if you're taking 10% or 15% interest to go pay for a party, I mean, it doesn't sound good when I say it. I'm sure it doesn't sound good on paper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It sucks when the couples or like one of the when the kids don't know the family situation, because some parents do such a good job, they never let the kids know. There's some kids that are fully involved.
Yeah,
and they have businesses they take over, which is awesome. And there's other kids that are just so busy in their day-to-day, they have no idea how everything's been paid for, how things are gonna be paid for, what the real cost is, what opportunity, like what they're leaving on the table. They don't know. If they knew, for some, if they knew, hey, we got 150 grand, that's what we're getting, which is unbelievable. Like, think about it. Most people don't have anything.
150 grand, I'd be really happy.
Right? And then it makes it easier for them. They could talk to their partner. The partner can talk to their family and be like, cool, let's put something for our investment or for our future.
Sure.
And then if the parents want to have a good party and to each their own, why not? Big parties are dope. Yeah. And then put the remaining amount.
Gotcha.
Because you can still have nice parties on a Surrey budget.
Yeah. And you've been selling. You've been a mortgage broker now for more than 10 years.
10 years this month.
So we've both been in the industry for the same amount of time. We've gotten older. We started young. We're in our 30s now. But have you noticed that we're starting to see our client portfolio is younger and younger, meaning like we're starting to see people enter the market at 23 and 24 and 25, despite what people may think. We're actually starting to see a lot of younger buyers. So I feel like the information is important to them because they're starting to realize that they need to buy a home. Whereas our generation, just one generation before them, we kind of put a lot of other things, as a priority before purchasing a home or buying an investment property? Are you
For
noticing
sure.
that?
I am. That's a good point. For some, the older generations always like to shit on the younger generations.
Of course. But I mean, I'm proud of them that they're buying real estate at a younger age. But I'll tell you right now, when I was 22,
I feel like they're smarter.
yeah, they're smarter. When I was 22, I first got into the market. I was very focused on building my business. I definitely wasn't focused on buying a home for myself.
Yeah.
I kick myself every day for not doing it because, gosh, when I got into the market in 2013, I could have bought a detached home in Langley, in Willoughby, the area that I live in now, and the area I work in now, for probably about $450,000 to $500,000.
Don't even
so
say it.
$450,000, $500,000.
I know.
Which now I can't even get you a condo for $450,000 in some cases.
Yeah.
That same house now is $1.6, $1.7 million.
Yeah.
Now we've seen some crazy gains in that last decade. Maybe we'll never see those gains again. But even conservatively, if things are going up 3.5%, 4%, I feel like this younger generation has kind of caught on to the fact.
Yeah.
There's some dough to make.
No, for sure.
Right?
And social media, right? Like
For
you're,
sure.
you're on there. You have to download 1,000 things a second nowadays.
Yeah.
Your brain's just equipped to this now.
Yeah.
So you see mortgage brokers giving updates, realtors giving their stuff. If you follow any one or two people,
Yeah.
you start seeing more of that, right?
Yeah.
It's the algorithm feeds you. So, and people are more aware about what the cost of living is
Yeah.
and what the cost of housing is and where it's headed. It's not headed down anytime soon or ever.
Yeah.
So it's smart on their part to try to essentially get into the market as soon as possible, because it doesn't matter what you bought.
Yeah.
5 years ago, you could close your eyes, you could point your, spin around and point your finger at any property. It could be the worst property in that area, in that community.
Yeah, it went up.
It's nowhere but up.
Yeah, nowhere
right?
but up. For sure. How's your wine? What are you on? What are you drinking? What are you having?
I don't know.
Are we
if this-
serving Chaberton wine at our event on Tuesday, June 14th?
I think it's only
Cheap
fair.
plug?
I think it's only fair that we do.
I think it's only fair that
I
we
was
do.
leaning towards like a buy in bulk style, but this is fantastic.
Folks, if you use Sim Dollywall for your mortgage broking, he will buy you a box of wine. If you use Dave Bawa as your realtor, I'll buy you whatever wine you want.
2 boxes.
Yeah, I'll buy you 2 boxes of wine. And he means the actual box where it's the bag inside of the box.
Nope. But
That's good.
all jokes aside, I think we could do a really good job of letting the audience know, the guests know, hey, this is where it's at today, because things might change in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
This is how you can get there.
Yeah.
You can share with them your story. Man, you're a top producing realtor. You see everything, and in that way,
I can get better.
hey, we all can, but they'll when you talk, people know you're not bullshitting them. They know, they can see the passion. They could tell, you could share your story, give them an idea on trends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's the reason why I'm so passionate about first-time home buyers is because, our parents used to always joke around about, not joke around, I mean, I don't think they were joking, but they would always tell us stories. Yeah, we would think they're joking because they would say the same story over and over again about their immigrant hustle. Like, their immigrant story was so difficult. Like, we came here, we bought our first house for like $250,000, $300,000. We were still sending money back home to Punjab. Like, it was tough. We had to I had to get your mom's parents here. I had to get so-and-so here. And that story was tough. And for me, it wasn't as difficult, but just leaving Victoria and coming out to the Lower Mainland was like a mini immigrant story. Because for me, I had to go through all these things that a lot of, I guess, our South Asian community doesn't go through, like living on rent in a basement suite.
Yeah.
We would rent our suites out to somebody. We're now living in the suite ourselves.
At that time.
Now I'm talking 10 years ago, right? And this was pretty wild. So getting my first home, me and my wife, we actually put a deposit on our townhome before we got married. After our roka and everything, we decided hey, let's do this. And we were fortunate to have some help as well, but put some money of ours into it, of course, and we built a home, and we definitely had to peel back on our wedding festivities accordingly, because hey, look, it is what it is. But that home did so much for us. It helped us build our basically our life, our platform. So for me, I'm passionate in the sense that I want to see young couples do well after the wedding.
Dude, I did not know that. That's full circle.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why we're doing this event.
If you sacrifice some of your wedding expense, if not half or whatever, to purchase your home, and for your home, did you at that point, was it Was it a pre-sale? Was it ready made?
Pre-sale.
So why don't we cover some of that too? The do's and don'ts of a pre-sale.
Because pre-sales have changed a lot since those days too.
Yeah. I'm gonna add that.
Yeah, for sure. The pre-sales have changed a lot since the days that I went and bought my townhome. Even in the last few months, there's been some developers are starting to slide certain clauses into the contract, rightfully, because at the end of the day, it's costing them more to make it. So you can't always just beat up developers and say they're the monster under the bed. They're not.
Yeah.
We have friends who are making these places. They're creating opportunity for these young buyers as well. But the lumber price that they're promised on such day is not the lumber price they're promised tomorrow. Yesterday's price is not today's price, is the point, okay? And that's what the developers want, is that they don't want you to have yesterday's price today, which, only would happen if the market jumps up. So, we'll educate people about that.
Yeah, that's actually great.
June 14th.
Yeah, your office. 6 o'clock?
Why not buy now?
Why not?
Buy now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so should we actually shoot the proper video now?
Yeah. I thought that was just cool sound bites.
Yeah, no,
Informal.
I just wanted to say that, so at the end we can just put that in there.
Yeah.
And then play it out. Yeah. Hey, brilliant, bro.
Thanks, man.
Kill it, yeah.
Cheers.